Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so you've got a 5-minute assignment looming at a UK university, and you're trying to figure out how on earth to condense weeks of heavy research into, well, 5 tiny minutes. You are in exactly the right spot. We are going to master this together.
Honestly, it's completely normal if your heart rate spikes just looking at that 5-minute time limit on the brief. It feels deceptively short, right? It's kind of this perfect storm. Just enough time to expose a lack of prep, but barely enough time to make a really profound academic point. It definitely takes some coaching and serious precision to nail down.
So here's our chronological roadmap to top marks. We'll decode the 5-minute assignment, structure your core message, design impactful presentation slides, nail UK academic referencing, and finally deliver for top marks. Let's jump right in.
First up, Section 1, Decoding the 5-minute assignment. Before we even think about writing, we gotta set our boundaries.
Now, this is absolutely the most urgent question every single student has. You sit down at a blank document and think, okay, how many words actually is a 5-minute speech? Well, it all comes down to your natural speaking speed. If you're an average talker, that maps out to roughly 625 to 750 words. A super fast talker might push 850, while a slower, more deliberate pace sits closer to 500. But if you want a golden rule, and you definitely do, anchor this number in your brain right now. 140. 140 words per minute is the golden average speaking rate you really want to aim for. Do the math, multiply that by 5, and your target script is exactly 700 words. Guys, that's literally just a page and a half of standard typed text. It is incredibly short.
Moving right along to Section 2, Structuring your core message.
The source material actually gives us this brilliant quote from Abraham Lincoln. "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." It perfectly hits the nail on the head for short assignments. Thorough prep is the secret sauce here. Your research, that's sharpening the axe. The 5 minutes you actually spend speaking is just the final swift swing.
To make that swing count, you need a very strict 3-part structure. Your intro has got to be tight, just 30 to 60 seconds to hook the audience and drop your topic. Your body paragraphs should run about 3 to 4 minutes, strictly limited to 2 or 3 main points, backed by some solid, practical examples. And finally, your conclusion takes the last 30 to 60 seconds to summarize the whole shebang and leave a really strong closing thought. And as you build that structure out, I want you to remember this mantra from Software Sustainability Lightning Talks. One message. One message. One message. 5 minutes is literally not enough time to explain your entire research project. Please do not overload your audience. Just focus on one single core idea and deliver it flawlessly.
All right, Section 3, Designing Impactful Presentation Slides. Let's translate this to visuals without causing death by PowerPoint.
It's so interesting when you think about the relationship between you and your visual materials. As the presenter, you relay the message directly to the audience. Your materials, they just point up to support you. Basically, your slides are just tools. You are the presentation, not the text on the screen behind you.
So, to make sure your slides act as tools and not massive distractions, you've got to follow some strict visual rules. Use sans serif fonts, think Arial or Calibri, and keep them to a minimum of 24 points. Try a dark background with light text. Stick to no more than 4 to 5 bullet points and literally one specific idea per slide. Oh, and please avoid all caps. In an academic setting, it just looks like you're shouting at the examiner.
This really gets at the essence of presentation zen, drawing on Guy Kawasaki's famous 10-20-30 rule. The big takeaway here? Keep your designs stunningly simple. A powerful image or a clean figure will absolutely always outperform a slide crammed full of text or complex equations. Keep it clean and keep the focus right where it belongs, on your voice.
On to Section 4, Nailing UK Academic Referencing. Let's tackle the biggest hurdle that trips up way too many students. So in the UK, referencing is definitely not one size fits all. It's totally dependent on your discipline. Business and social sciences, they usually go with Harvard. Psychology leans APA, law uses OSCALA, which means footnotes, humanities love MLA, and the sciences often use Vancouver's numbered systems. Whatever your specific style is, you have to include your citations directly on your slides or explicitly as a reference list at the very end of your presentation.
But here's the absolute deal breaker: consistency. Mixing 2 referencing styles in one assignment is a cardinal sin that will bleed your grade dry. Seriously, don't do it. You have to pick the one specific style required by your module handbook and apply it flawlessly. Your in-text citations must match your bibliography perfectly. Finally, Section 5, Delivering for Top Marks. Let's look at how your live delivery actually translates into your final university grade.
This advanced marking criteria scheme is incredibly revealing. Look at what carries the most weight here. Content and grammar account for 60% of your grade. To put that into perspective, what you say and how accurately you write it completely dominates the rubric. Nonverbal communication is 20%, fluency is 15%, and visual aids, they're only worth 5%. So whatever you do, do not spend 10 hours designing slides and only 1 hour writing your actual script. But to actually lock in those top marks, you have to follow the ultimate golden rule of the lightning presentation. Finish on time. If you run over, your audience, and more importantly, your grader, might totally miss the fundamental conclusion of your work. Time your 700 words, practice it out loud in your room, and make absolutely sure your key point is made before you're asked to step down.
Which leaves us with this final thought. When your next 5-minute assignment lands on your desk, how are you going to approach it? Are you going to do the research, map out your 700 words, refine your single core message, and sharpen that axe? Or are you just going to build a dozen chaotic slides and swing wildly at the clock? The prep really does make all the difference. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Now go crush that assignment. Welcome.